Yes?
I'm at your service.
Powers unseen uncover my path. Intriguing.
request is approved. I am ready to provide the necessary information. I came heeding the call of my mentor, the blessed Archmagos Amanat. We were supposed to meet on Rykad Minoris and discuss my mission. Thank you. Information acknowledged. I will analyze it and take additional security measures. I propose that it was the blessed Amonat who assumed this name. This name is assigned to me. His presence in the hands of heretics is categorically unacceptable. The canon of technological security commands that every effort be made to rescue a high-ranking bearer of knowledge. Acknowledged. The request is approved. I have no outright restrictions on disclosing this information. Information about my origins is worthless. I belong to the priesthood of explorators and came to the Coronis Expanse over 200 years ago. Any events preceding that moment are insignificant. I was honored to become a member of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet. When the Adeptus Mechanicus summoned the faithful for an exploratory venture into the depths of the Coronis Expanse, I joined the fleet in fulfillment of my sacred vows of comprehension. Archmagos Amanat, my blessed mentor, commanded me to crew the orbital station Altar Templum Calixus X-17. This venerable temple station was founded in the early years of our expansion into the Coronis Expanse. It is currently a rear observation post of the Cognizance Fleet in orbit around the star Furibundus. The sacred fraternity of explorers. The Cult Mechanica sends us out to the frontiers of the known sectors as researchers and conquerors. We are the warriors of the Code, who return to the lost worlds and devote themselves to recovering the lost ancient knowledge. Explorators are granted the privilege of being more independent than many of our tech comrades. However, it has earned us a reputation as unstable and poorly controlled troublemakers whose unorthodox views are dangerously close to apostasy. They are my younger brothers and guides on the way to the Omnissiah. Their machine spirits are directly bound to my neocortex and pick up impulses from my subconscious. Sometimes they act ahead of my thoughts. This is how the Omnissiah leads me to comprehension. Acknowledged. I am honored to belong to the priesthood of Mars, guided by its tenets. We safeguard technology against the impure and the unenlightened. That is where the cult of the Omnissiah originated, and where we were granted the first revelations. Many millennia ago, we made an alliance with the Emperor of Terra and have served the Imperium ever since, paying a tribute to machinery, weapons, and void ships. Everything that bears the blessed seal of machinery comes from our hands, and it is we who make sure the operating rituals are performed as they were meant to. We are everywhere. We are the Mars-forged steel bars that give the Imperium strength. It is both a treasure and a secret. Technology is how the divinity of the Omnissiah manifests itself in this world. This is why the uninitiated may only be allowed to touch the most vulgar and mundane of its instances. We, on the other hand, are authorized to use the sacred catechism of maintenance and operation. Although there is another reason to deny lay people the sacrament of knowledge, it can be dangerous. Twisted by renegades, the Omnissiah's wisdom is called heretic, and the exposure to it may corrupt the uninitiated. Another danger is knowledge, strangely interpreted and inscrutably twisted by the minds of Xenos. This bane is called Xenotech. This statement is false. Our congregation is motivated by the precepts of the sacred catechism. The hierarchs' personal ambitions do not affect the purity and integrity of their ministry. However, change does frighten them. They do not know what action is to be taken should the Omnissiah reveal new truths to them, and that is why the thought of losing control fills them with dread. This electu indicates that I am a Magos, who has mastered the sacraments of many spheres of knowledge, and has the right to conduct services in a forged cathedral. He is the divine mechanism, the maker of technology. The universe was made to resemble a mechanical marvel, because the Omnissiah rules over it. Knowledge is the highest form that he uses to manifest in the world. For now. Someday, he will come to this world in the absolute fullness of his splendor. The Adeptus Mechanicus worshipped the Emperor. He is the earthly manifestation of the Omnissiah, who brought humanity into the light of divine grace. Organic tissue is an imperfect replica of the machine, transient and vulnerable. Metal is more stable, more effective, and more durable. Flesh speak is flawed next to binary language. Meat begets weakness, it softens the mind and undermines discipline. But you can replace metal when it wears down. In addition, a machine is a supreme form of knowledge, and by assuming mechanical form, we become closer to the Omnissiah. However, like all things sacred, our augmentations must not be defiled by the eyes of the ignorant, which is why we reveal only the crudest of tools, while holier mechanisms remain concealed beneath our crimson robes. To witness the miracle of flesh being fused with holy metal is granted only to those who have ascended to the rank of initiate. However, your lofty status of rogue trader allows me to make a partial exception and reveal my sacred stigmata. Partially true. I had a voice modulator implanted alongside the respiratory purification module, but there is an Additional reason. Gothic is not my first language. I am used to thinking and making statements in lingua technis. The binaric language is more informative, more ergonomic, and less prone to misinterpretation. Acknowledged. May your labors be effective and fruitful.
The esteemed Magos Haneman is shattered, like a beautiful stained glass window into a mosaic of colors. His bright, beckoning hues are mixed together in complete disarray. I must confess, it perplexes me. Normally, scarlet and steel are all that fills the heart of a servant of the Omnissiah. I have enjoyed...
The world will bow.
That wasn't so difficult.
My ascension has only just begun. Embrace true power. I tread a path unexplored.
Mistress Cabela, you move with the utmost confidence in unfamiliar places. And yet, until now, you have spent your entire life on a void ship.
This place is almost like the plasma drive chambers on the flagship. The deadly flashes of the machine's spark, the smell of scorched flesh, and threads that must be severed.
I'm not satisfied with that answer. I will repeat my question again. The last Electro Priest you killed, where did you find him?
Burn in the fire of dawn, servant of the Corpse Emperor!
And another one meets the limit of his utility. The last of them. Yes. Well, since you know who I am, and are in no hurry to kill me, I infer that you serve the Emperor, not his enemies. Allow me to introduce myself. Interrogator Heinrichs van Kellogg's of the Imperial Inquisition's esteemed Ordo Xenos. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Shadow. A great big sun-eclipsing, chain-weaving shadow. I can see the threads, myriads of them extending toward us all, and all of them creeping off toward him like snakes, shrouding us in poison. My, oh my, do I sense trouble, and it's right in my throat. It itches.
A psyker. Interesting. And a diviner at that. Even more interesting. Are you sanctioned?
Don't you Inquisition me! I'm under the Rogue Trader's protection!
Your retinue, you say? Then let's go back to my previous question. With whom do I have the honor of speaking? Von Valancius. To the best of my knowledge, that dynasty is headed by the esteemed Theodora von Valancius. Has there been a change of circumstances? I do admit courteous small talk is not my strong suit. What brings you to the sanctum of the Omnissiah? I convinced him to cooperate. I can influence living bodies, and I find that the interrogated are much more eager to share information once the blood starts to boil in their veins. Then the timing of our meeting is fortuitous. I am requisitioning you and your retinue for my task. Starting with her. You have provided exactly the kind of specialist that this situation requires.
I am the Domin's shadow. If she says the word, I will protect you. If she says the word, I will take you to the Undying One.
Requisitioning? Young man, your choice of words is unseemly to the point of insult. You're addressing a rogue trader.
I don't imagine you'll be any happier if I say taking into inquisitorial custody.
To aid his faithful servant in the fight against corruption is the solemn duty of all whose actions affect millions of the Imperium's subjects. Let your example guide those who will carry the Emperor's light across 1,000 stars.
You are familiar with the works of Inquisitor Alistar the Redeemer. Not every acolyte can say the same, let alone people less initiated. Please forgive my lapse in manners, Lady Navigator Orselio. It is a great honor. I came to Ricad Minoris on a mission, which a rebellion prevented me from fulfilling. The governor is convinced that malcontents from among the rabble were the instigators, but I immediately suspected a more sinister presence at the root of the mutiny. My visit to the monastery and a few unhurried conversations with some of the rebels confirmed my suspicions. Someone by the name of Aurora is leading the rebellion. Data indicates that the head of the cultists is here right now, in the sanctum of the ancient reactor. Given the prophecy of the final dawn, and the special efforts made by the enemies of humanity to seize the monastery, their goal is to gain access to the holy power source's control circuit and trigger a process that, once started, cannot be stopped. In other words, to detonate the reactor, thus being themselves the cause of their much-touted final dawn.
Blasphemous insanity.
I arrived here with an escort squad, only to lose it in our very first open skirmish. The monastery is swarming with heretics. The soldiers I requisitioned from the governor fell in battle, bled to death, or deserted. I had to make do with catching and forcefully interrogating individual rebels. It is from them that I learned what I relayed to you just now. Thank you. Regrettably, the governor's people showed themselves to be unprepared for the perils of this place. And extracting blade shards from a person's stomach is beyond my powers. I hope that a rogue trader's retinue will prove more capable than a group of soldiers fresh off the base. I am positive that not all of the electro-priests within these walls have perished. The heretics spoke of shadows emerging from side alleys to make short work of the cultists invading their abode. I surmise that the entrance to their hiding place is somewhere in the hall near a machine known as the Circular Cogitator. I imagine it's one of the local sacred relics which the electro-priests treat with special piety.
Powers unseen uncover my path.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Fate beckons me. The world trembles beneath my feet. The absurdity of your struggle amuses me.
Surrender to the dark powers! Out of my way!
Stay vigilant.
Caught by the web.
Break their morale.
My place is at the fort. Victory is impossible. For my lead.
Purpose.
Blood is my life.
Remember, innocence proves nothing.
What advice do you seek?
My ascension has only just begun. Let's seize the opportunity.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
Whisper and be heard.
There is a fervor in my soul. The world will bow. Time to leave my mark upon the galaxy.
Calculating optimal route.
I guide humanity between the stars.
The web serves. No sleep, no rest. Only duty, only death.
This master-crafted patella augment is not fit for a servitor.
What ails you? I'll take it from here. Do you require inquisitorial approval?
power.